Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. I don't know what's happening. My video recording software has an update. Clearly it has some bug in it. I can't get my camera to be working, so you just have to imagine my face. You've seen me in a lot of videos. So today is a very interesting day. At first I thought it's going to be a very boring day, but something happened to Palantir that has very huge consequences. So NVIDIA reported today and Snowflake reported today. And I saw so many people talking about the NVIDIA report, and I thought it was going to be a huge nothing burger because yes, they increased the guidance by very much, and then a lot of people were saying if they miss that guidance, then the stock market is going to crash. You know, it's going to be the end of the known world as we know it, and we're just going to crash into oblivion. So this didn't make a lot of sense from many viewpoints, because why would they miss the earnings if they increase their own guidance, right? So the earnings came in. At first I want to speak about Snowflake, but then we're going to speak about NVIDIA, because what happened to NVIDIA is crazy good for Palantir. So the reason why we are interested in Snowflake, I'm actually going to take this away, is because they're a close, I don't want to say competitor, but many people consider them a competitor to Palantir. And obviously Palantir has a slowed growth, and we know that there's this AI trend going, and if Palantir is not growing but its peers are growing, then we know that something is wrong with Palantir. But if Palantir is not growing and all the peers are also experiencing a slowdown, then there is nothing weird. So right now the weird thing is that we know that there is an AI boom, right? We can see it in NVIDIA, we can see it in NVIDIA's guidance. And logically this would follow that then all the AI companies are getting increased revenues. But Palantir came in, reported earnings, and they reported 13% year-over-year growth. So we as shareholders pretty much suspect that the reason why this is happening is because LX Corp is trying to take the whole AI market. They have this new AIP product, and they are not trying to make revenue. They are trying to get out there with customers, and they're going to figure out a way later to monetize this, right? So this is what we think. But if, again, Snowflake would come in with blowout earnings, then it would be a red flag for Palantir. So how did the Snowflake earnings go? You can see that they had 37% product revenue growth. So when you compare this to Palantir, you would salivate over these numbers, because they're so much better compared to Palantir. But if you compare it to Snowflake, the quarter before, you could see that they had 50% growth. So they are themselves slowing down, and it was even a lot more before. So they are consistently slowing down. Net revenue retention, which Palantir calls net dollar retention, it was at 110% for Palantir. It's a steady downtrend. And you can see that also for this company it's going down from 151 to 142. They have 402 1 million product revenue customers. These two are not as important. Palantir only has customers that have 1+ million, so here they're not so comparable. And you can see that the non-GAAP product gross margin went up by 1 percentage point. So the only thing that is a takeaway from this is that the fact that Palantir is slowing down, it's not really a weird thing or a red flag in itself, because the other peers are also experiencing the slowdown in growth. But now let's look at the main star of tonight, which is the NVIDIA earnings. What the heck happened here? Because NVIDIA is up 10%. This was called the most overvalued stock on the whole stock market. You know, it really divides people, and from, you know, all-time highs, it's up another 10% in one trading day. It's $1.2 trillion in value. So what the heck did they report? Basically they blew away expectations by something that I've never seen. I'm quite new to the stock market. It's only been a few years, but people who have been around for, you know, 15-20 years, they say that they have never seen a company increase the earnings estimates as much as NVIDIA has done it, and they blew away, they shattered those expectations, and on top of it they increased their Q3 guidance even more than they have increased it before. So let's just read the raw numbers, and this has really profound implications for Palantir, and I'm going to go into this. So NVIDIA reported second quarter earnings after the bell Wednesday that blew away already sky-high expectations for the graphics chip giant as the AI hype train keeps pushing markets forward. The company reported revenue of $13.51 billion, 101% jump from last year. My God, such a big company growing 101%. This is like Tesla, better growth than Tesla. While adjusted earnings came in at $2.7 a share, up 429, Jesus fucking Christ, from last year. Analysts had expected the revenue to come in at 11.04 billion earnings per share. I mean, this guidance went from 6 billion to, I believe, 11 billion. And they beat it by 2 effing million in 3 months. That is just nuts. I mean, they beat by all of Palantir's 1 year earnings. That was their beat in 3 months. And the earnings per share, the expectation was 2.07 according to Bloomberg, and they came in at 2.70. That is more than a 40% beat on earnings per share. So this teaches you a lesson that when something is overvalued, that's one thing, and then the growth is another thing. And if something is growing, you have to overpay for the stock, or it automatically gets priced in, right? So all the people who were buying puts and thinking that this cannot go on higher, now the numbers look very cheap because they have increased the guidance so much and the growth so much that now suddenly this stock is not as overvalued. And this is the same for Palantir, that we can argue until we are blue in our faces about the value of Palantir, but if the underlying growth expectation changes, it completely changes the stock price of Palantir. So NVIDIA also issued the current quarter revenue guidance of 16 billion plus or minus 2%, far outpacing Wall Street's already lofty expectations of 12.5 billion in revenue. Again, insane. This is, I think, the best beat and guidance and everything increase that I have ever seen on the stock market. And let me know in the comments what you think. So this has very, very profound implications for Palantir, because up until now we have heard the hype about AI, and the worry has been that this is just the usual, pump and dump, that people hype up this AI thing, but there's no substance behind it. Okay, but the fact that, the earnings of Palantir, Snowflake, and all the other AI companies, they did not help this actually, because they didn't really show. I mean, Palantir grew 13%, right? So the investors were very justified in thinking, okay, this is just another hype train. And if NVIDIA would have reported bad numbers, I believe the whole market would have gone down, and it would have been a very, very bad outcome. Okay, but they blew away, shattered the expectations. So that means that this AI wave is really a new revolution. There is really tangible substance behind this revolution, and that also means that Palantir has a huge tailwind. And it's true, what we are expecting is basically confirmed by this, that there is a huge wave on AI. And Palantir most probably has a lot of customers lined up, and yes, they don't know how to monetize their things, but that monetization is going to come. It's inevitable when you have such a wave, when you have a new industrial revolution folding out in front of our eyes. It's super exciting. So this really has profound implications. I wouldn't be surprised if Palantir would rally back up to $20 and maybe even all-time high from this, because the growth that we all think is there is basically proven to be there, and it's coming. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. I'm sorry that I couldn't show my face, but I'm not as pretty anyways. And please make sure that you're subscribed to the channel. You can follow me on X at Vince is Bullish, and I'll see you in the next video. Ciao, ciao.